What is going on? My name is Andrew Wilkes. I'm an online fitness coach turned online fitness coach, and I help online fitness coaches make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year in tens to $50,000 months. So with that being said, one of the biggest bottlenecks that anybody ever runs into when they're doing their coaching business is a few things. Obviously, there's content. Obviously, there's DM setting. Obviously, there's sales. Obviously, there's, genuinely finding the clients. But the biggest problem with all of those things is you're starting individually. When in the grand scheme of things, what we need to think about when starting our content and starting selling our offer comes down to having an offer to sell. And when we have a solid offer to sell, it makes everything very easy. So when we have an offer that's built for an exact person, everything's easy. Our price points are laid out. Our content's laid out. Our sales funnel is laid out all for an exact person. And that exact person is what we're building our offer on. So today we're getting into how to build an undeniable offer so good that they feel stupid for walking away, if they do. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So I'm going to go over a few things that we're going to actually break down in this video on how to actually build an offer fully. Okay? No bullshit, no, gatekeeping, nothing left out. If you're watching this video, you should be able to build out an offer specifically for you to make money as an online fitness coach. So I'm going to break down exactly what we're going to do today. First thing we want to do is we want to build our foundation, right? When we're building our foundation, let me switch my pen here. So first thing we want to do is build our foundation. Our foundation, we're going to get there, right? Everything in here, we're going to go over defining your audience, market, and capability. So what you can actually do in your market. Then we're going to get into understanding your audience on a deeper level. Identifying your unique capability, so what you actually have to offer to the market is a big thing. So many guys don't think about what they actually have to offer. They think about what I can sell and who I can sell to, but at the end of the day, it's also what you're capable of offering to people. So what I mean by that is kind of leveraging your strengths. From there, once we get there, we're gonna move into making your offer specific enough, right? We don't want to just, make an offer for weight loss. We want to make a specific offer. Hence, one of our clients, Ken only coaches teachers. He was a teacher. He was a male. He lost over 50 pounds while being an ex-fat teacher. And now he's in the greatest shape of his life. So what does he do? Does he help men lose weight? No, he specifically helps teachers in North America lose weight. We broke down the numbers on that, and there's 74 million high school teachers in North America. From there, 85% of Americans are overweight. So you do the math. We have quite a few people that we can actually help in his demographic. But it's so specific that we're only helping a certain person. So then he seems like a professional to those people. Put a little Zinski in there. Okay? So from there, we want to work on actually structuring your offer for those people. Right? Your offer, let's make them into tiered packages. That's something a lot of people will do, and then they end up missing so much money. They end up missing, you want to have 1, 2, and 3 different tiers, right? People end up missing money because they try and sell their first one and their second, their first and their second one, but then their third one, their low ticket, gets, downplayed. They make it seem like that's a scam, right? But in reality, we want to make a third offer so good, which is our low ticket. So no matter what call we're on, we're walking away with thousands of dollars and no real, one-to-one time. So it's, basically you're making passive income at that point, right? So now we want to take our offer structure and we want to price it perfectly. So then we take our packages 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to get into pricing. From there, we're going to craft our messaging and positioning to speak to a deep pain of our ICP, our ideal client portfolio, right? So that's what ICP is going to stand for. So that's what we do is we want to speak to our ICP. I don't know why the fuck I just put a C backwards, but we're going to talk directly to our ICP. Okay. From there, we're going to iterate and optimize so we can actually track the objections and improve based on what we're getting in our sales calls. So the objections our clients would be getting and giving us, those are what we're going to be ending up making our content and our offer around so that in sales calls, we can not even get those objections. It's not about beating the objection. It's about making sure it doesn't exist. Okay. So from there, doing all those things is really all it takes to create an irresistible offer. So with that being said, let me kind of break down exactly how we're going to do that step by step. I want to start here first, the understanding. So let me ask you a question really quick. Why do online fitness coaches struggle to even sell a $500 program? Well, other coaches like me are selling $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 programs with ease, right? It's the same industry, same platforms, and same information. The difference is not the effort that we're putting in, well, to a degree. It's not our following count. Like I said, I was able to do $20,000 to $40,000 a month with 1,100 to 2,000 Instagram followers. So it's not our following, and it's not simply luck, right? It's the actual offer that we're running. So most coaches, they don't have a marketing problem. They don't have a sales problem. They actually have an offer problem. It's not that you can't sell, but it's also kind of impossible to sell water to someone who's drowning in water, right? You want to make sure your offer is actually tailored. From there, today we're going to walk through exactly step by step on how to actually do as a fitness coach, build out a offer that's so specific, so aligned, and so valuable to our client that it feels like it's a no. If a no comes up in the call, it's a mistake, right? They want to feel stupid. I've literally said that on calls, and it's be like, that's so good, you'd feel stupid to say no, right? And they go, and I pause. They go, yeah. I'm like, right. They don't want to say no now. They don't want to feel stupid. So from there, it's not hype. It's not manipulation. It's not gimmicks, right? What we're actually doing is we're building a real offer that works in the real world for those people. So if you're an online fitness coach who wants fewer sales calls, higher quality clients, higher price points, so higher sales, higher PIFs, and clients who actually get results, because low ticket clients don't get results because they don't put the work in. There's no reason for them to. But high paying clients always get results because they put the work in. Okay. So in this video, we're going to actually talk about how to think about your business. So let's start with the actual foundation. Okay, so before you write a single line of copy, before you price anything, before you build any sort of packages, you need to understand these three things. First, who your audience is, your market, and your actual capabilities. Most coaches skip it and jump straight to here's my 12-week program. That's wrong. They include here's what's included in the program and here's the price. That's completely backwards of what you need to be thinking about when it comes to offer creation. And I know you might think that's wrong, but simple. You're on this video. Let me break it down. So your goal is not to create an offer that sounds good. Your goal is to create an offer that sounds like it's designed for a specific person, right? So instead of breaking down what you do in the price, you first need to understand what's exactly the person you're looking for and who's exactly looking for you, right? Not that sounds interesting, but you want your client and you want people who see you to think these things. This is for me. Wow, this is perfect for me. This is where most coaches mess up, right? They think being broad equals more opportunities, right? You're not stupid for thinking that, but it's wrong, right? You think being broad with your marketing equals more opportunities. So they say things like, I help men get in shape. I help men lose weight. I help men bulk up. I help skinny men get jacked, stuff like that. But if you compare that to somebody like, I help blue collar workers lose fat and recomp for their bodies without giving cheat meals and doing excess cardio. Using macro-based systems that feel unpredictable, that fits with their unpredictable schedule, right? When they have something so specific, it's perfect for people. That's perfect for the blue collar man who wants to fix his body composition and doesn't want to give up, how he eats and his cheat meals, and he doesn't want to eat like a bodybuilder. He doesn't want to do endless amount of cardio like a bodybuilder. He doesn't want to train like one. And it's a macro-based system, so they can do that, right? Because it fits with their unpredictable schedule of having kids, a job, a business, whatever it is. It's perfect for that person, right? So here's the counterintuitive truth. The more narrow you go, the more powerful your offer becomes. When you try to speak to everyone, you speak to no one. I think that's a pretty well-known thing in our market now. And if you don't know that, it's true. The more narrow you go, the more powerful your offer becomes. The more broad you go, the weaker it goes, right? It's like, you hit somebody with a bullet that's straight on, it's powerful. If you hit somebody with a burst, it's not as powerful, right? Each bullet's going to be weak and it might not hit them. So when you try to speak to everyone, you speak to no one. When you speak to a clear person and it's one person, others listen too, because specific signals to your expertise, right? So part 2 is actually understanding your audience. And what we need to understand is your audience is not a demographic, right? They're not men 25 to 45, women who want to lose weight, busy professionals. That's just surface level stuff you need to kind of get out of your head. The first thing we need to understand is your audience is a real human being with daily routines, history of failing, emotional baggages, and desires they don't say out loud, right? So surface level sounds like this. My audience wants to lose weight. A deep understanding sounds like this. My audience is men with demanding jobs who used to be in shape, let things slip, and they feel embarrassed that they've become the guy who avoids mirrors, photos, and beaches. They've tried apps, diets, but nothing sticks because their schedule is chaotic and they're exhausted. One describes a category, one describes a certain type of person, right? So I want you to ask yourself, what does a normal day look like for your person? When do they feel most frustration? What moments remind them that they've fallen off? What are their wake-up calls, right? What history with the problem do they have? What have they tried in the past? What didn't work? What conclusions did they draw about themselves? This is critical, right? Because most prospects don't think that program didn't work. They think I didn't work. It's more of a mentality thing, and they have a lot of self-doubt, which is going to stop them from pursuing anything in the future. So what we need to be kind of looking at is their emotional world, right? What are they embarrassed about? What do they avoid? And what are they scared? What are they scared about? If, like, will it happen if they don't change, right? They're scared that will anything happen if they never change, and what wakes them up to that decision? This is where real buying decisions come from. We're in an industry where it's more of an emotional buy over a logical buy. I'm going to be honest with you, right? B2B, where it's businesses helping business, a lot of the time it's more logical. Can I make more money? Will this genuinely help me? But when it comes down to fitness closes, it comes down to the emotional side of things and how they actually emotionally attach themselves to who they are and their failures in the past. So it's not just, their desires don't come down to just plain and simple, like, lose 20 pounds, but how does life change for them? Who do they become as a person, as a man? What do people start to notice about them, right? The language that you have is everything. People don't want abs. They want an identity resolution. They want to recreate their identity, right? Because when you are in shape, you become a better person. You become a new person. So if your audience says things like this, I want to feel myself again. I'm tired of starting over every Monday. I know what to do. I just don't do it. Those phrases are absolutely gold, especially for hooks in your videos. So use their words, not fitness industry words. They don't care about your macros. They don't care about all the fancy words that you learn being, a trainer or having some sort of degree. They care about words that matter to them. You want to relate to them, right? The best marketing strategy sounds like a diary, not an ad. That's a big problem that a lot of people miss is they're thinking about things like an advertisement and they're thinking about what would attract them. But what attracts us wouldn't attract your necessary person because they don't think the same way we do. Okay. So you want to make it sure it sounds more like a diary entry than it does an ad, right? And part 3 of everything is understanding your actual market. Your prospect is never choosing between your offer and nothing. They're choosing between you, other coaches, apps, gyms, YouTube videos, and simply doing nothing. Simply doing nothing, right? The 3 types of competition in your market are direct competitors, number 1, right? So other online fitness coaches targeting the same audience, right? So to do so, you need to study these things. What they include, how their pricing works, what testimonials they emphasize, and what clients complain about when it comes to those coaches. Number 2 is indirect competitors, right? So that's apps, meal plans, crazy diets, gym memberships, and even medical interventions, things like Ozempic and drugs and steroids, right? What is an enemy of your ICP, right? What are they actually thinking about that could work instead of you, right? Your job is to understand why somebody would choose this instead of me. Probably because it's easier, right? Third is the do nothing option. This is your biggest competitor, right? Other coaches isn't close to this. Drugs and steroids and Ozempic, those things are not your biggest competitor. Your number 1 competitor is them. It's them feeling fear. It's them feeling comfort where they are. It's them feeling doubt in themselves and past failures that make them feel like nothing's going to work for them because they don't work, right? So your messaging has to be a wake-up call. It needs to be an overcoming interaction. They need to really see initiative with overcoming their problems through your content. So what kind of wake-up calls can you make in your content to kind of get them to see, wow, this guy gets me? It makes them want to change and get over that fear. Not just alternatives to food or diets or workout plans. So next step is what you're looking for. You're looking for market gaps, repeated complaints that people have, undeserved needs, and over-promised outcomes, right? This is where powerful offers are born, right? So part 4 is actually coming up with your unique capabilities. Now at this part, we want to turn inwards towards ourselves, right? So your offer must be built around what you can genuinely deliver well to help these people. So ask yourself, what experience do I have? What did I personally overcome? So if you were overweight and you lost 50 pounds, odds are you're probably going to help somebody that's exactly in the position that you were in yourself, right? It's the best way that you can really identify with the client and really feel like you understand them, right? What kind of clients do I work best with? How do I like to coach, right? Sounds simple, but you got to think about it. And what lifestyle do I want? Okay, so your offer should align with your strengths, not someone else's Instagram page. This is how you avoid burnout and building something unsustainable, right? You want to make sure that you're building something you actually want to build and you're working with people you actually want to work with. So part 5 is actually creating your avatar. So avatar is what we call your ICP, your ideal client. This is where everything's going to click for you when it comes down to bringing it up. So your ideal client portfolio, right? That's your North Star. Without it, your messaging stays generic, your offer gets bloated, you attract the wrong people, and you're not going to get clients. So, or at least high paying ones at that point. Okay, so what we need to understand are demographics that tell you who they are and psychographics that tell you why they want to buy, right? So your avatar document should include these certain things when you're breaking this down, right? Your identity snapshot, current situation that they're in, pain points, mental and physical, right? So physical pain points that they're going through and emotional feelings that they have about that physical pain point, right? What aligns? Because then you know what they're going through physically and you know that ties to a mental barrier as well, which are two things you have to help them overcome. From there, you have to go into the failed solutions they've tried, limiting beliefs, and desires that they want. What's their desired outcome? From there, you're going to understand their buying triggers on what gets that person to actually want to buy, and the language bank. So what kind of language can you use that connects you to them and goes, oh, that's for me. Oh, this guy gets me, right? From there, you're really going to have a shift in your clientele, and it's going to make your content way fucking easier. So what I recommend is when you have things like pain points written down, you have past failures written down, you have mental problems, physical problems, right? In their desire that they want, now you create a language bank on base off of all of those. And I recommend taking all of them and making pieces of content based on those specific problems, right? And then tie it back to actually solution and then lead that to a long form video that they can CTA to in your comment section, like fitness or fat loss or something like that, that you can send them to the DMs and say, hey man, here's your full free guide. This document becomes your content blueprint, your sales script, and your offer fulfiller. Okay, so now you know exactly what type of content to make, you know exactly what to hit on in sales calls, and you now know what actual offer you can fulfill on, right? You can filter out what offer you can do and which ones you don't want to do. Okay, so if you ever feel stuck, come back to this. Okay, if you ever feel stuck on what content to make, what to say on sales calls, and you know who you're trying to help, come back to these problems. Come back to that. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and you can genuinely write those things down for yourself. Number 6 is actually structuring the offer. So here's the truth that most coaches don't understand. Programming is not the product, right? It's accountability is the product, structure is the product, and the relationship is the product. Your offer is not training and nutrition. Your offer is a system that makes change inevitable, right? Let me say that again. Your offer is a system that makes change inevitable in all aspects of their life. It's not a meal plan and nutrition, right? It's not just training. So from there, you want to kind of go over the 5 core deliverables: training, nutrition, check-in calls, daily accountability, tracking and adjustments daily, right? That's what's going to actually achieve daily success for your clients. Everything should ladder back to, does this help my client actually follow through? Because it's not about you. You're in the shape you are because you were able to follow through. These people are in the spot that they are mentally and physically because they haven't been able to follow through. So how can you build your offer to make sure these people actually follow through with the results that they're going to get and that you and they want to get? So that's exactly how you justify a high ticket price. Does it actually help them follow through? Because you can't justify a high ticket price of thousands of dollars for a meal plan and training. But a system that actually helps them follow through with getting results the way that they want results is how you're going to be able to justify the high ticket price that you're selling. Okay, so part number 7 is actually pricing your offer correctly. Okay, so let's be blunt here. Low ticket coaches will always be broke. I know people in person in my hometown, all over where I used to live, who are literally professional bodybuilder coaches, and they're dirt poor because they're coaching hundreds of people for $100 a month. There's no scalability there. So they lack time. They have no time to actually build or scale or market or offer. It's all word to mouth because they have no time to actually, 1, maybe get their clients results, and 2, scale. And I'm not talking, more clients. I'm talking more money. Okay. So with that being said, let's kind of go over exactly how we're going to fix that. Okay. So high ticket works because you get fewer clients, you get better clients, you get more commitment, which means better results and better clients again, right? And more commitment equals better results, which means, you get better results, you get more testimonials, more people want to work with you. Okay. So the math just simply doesn't lie there. You don't need more leads. You need higher perceived value. You need to be perceived as a high level coach, because if you get 200 leads, but everyone perceives you as like a low level person, you're only going to get low level people and people who are willing to pay you low level. But if you're putting out high quality content who attracts the high paying demographic and attracts the people based on their pain points and things they want to change, you really relate to them, your perceived value is going to be so much higher than ever before. And higher perceived value is going to attract the high level paying clients. Simple. It's just math. So you want to tailor it out into 3 different packages. Okay. I don't recommend a full 12-month package. What I recommend is a 3 and a 6-month package. Okay. Your price points may vary. It may vary. So what I would recommend is anywhere from here. So let me pull this up for you guys. So when it comes down to your payments, I always recommend taking payments in USD, just simply because it's the dollar rule. So no matter where you are in the world, I always recommend taking it in USD. Okay. So what we want to look at is, I like to say $900 per month. The reason is we're attracting high level payers and we're attracting high level clients. And when you're doing your content the right way and your sales the right way and everything aligns, you can do $900 a month. And the reason we want to do $900 a month is because we want to shape it out like this. So for 3 months, we want to do $2,100. If you do the math there, $900 a month for 3 months is a lot more than $2,100. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to make our 3-month package actually lower if they pay in full. And then they're going to end up saving $600 up front. And then we want to go even higher with our 6-month package and make it $4,200 for 6 months. Okay. But $4,200 for 6 months, they're going to end up saving $1,200 in full if they pay in full. And that's what we call incentive to buy in full, right? From there, we want to make our lowest ticket $800. What I recommend is I recommend building out an entire module system of, videos, written out forms, what we call SOPs, so sales operations. So SOPs, so written down forms of how to do certain things, how to build it out for themselves, basically a done by you, right? So it's a done by them, right? Done on your own, which is just basically you want to build out a program like a course, super, super, super good, where they can get fulfillment and they can still get results based off of what's in the program, right? I genuinely recommend building it out something like this. Okay. So in here, what you want is you want to have it full of videos. You want to have it full of different training, diet, testosterone stuff, whatever your niche is, habits, client templates that they can fulfill on, right? And you want to go through phases. So the launch phase, the building phase, the growth phase, and the mastery phase, everything that they can do, full of videos and full of step-by-step guides on how exactly they can do it on their own. And then in there, put their base training program, diet plan, and teach them how to execute and teach them how to actually build past there on their own. Okay. And that's going to be what we call your low ticket. Your low ticket can be 800 USD to 1,000 USD. And if you have things like financing or anything like that, they can pay, $50 a month for that and still get results. And then that's if they can't afford your full one-to-one. At least now you're making money and they're getting results for what they could afford. And then we want to be able to sell these for one-to-one. Okay. You want to anchor your prices as high as possible always, because price signals confidence. When the price is high, you're confident that the product is good. If your price is $100 a month, you're instantly signaling that you don't think the program is worth anything, right? You don't think changing somebody's entire life and the results they're going to get is more than a gas tank. Come on. It's worth more, right? So then you can have things like financing that breaks it up into, smaller installments for a longer period of time, and then you get the money up front. I recommend that over monthly installments is getting your money up front and letting them pay it off through the payment processor on financing. So from there, confidence creates trust. When you're confident in something, your price creates the confidence. If you have a high price, it shows you're confident in your product, and confidence creates trust, right? So your messaging and your positioning. Messaging is just your magnet to attract people. It either attracts buyers or repels non-buyers, okay? And every piece of content should have these three things: a call out to a specific person, describe their real situation, and speak to their deep pain points or their desired outcome, right? Avoid language that attracts broke people. So you don't want to use, here's your budget-friendly meal plan, right? If you can't afford to go to a gym, here's how you're going to get in shape from home. You don't want to have things that attract broke people, right? So stay away from budget-friendly kind of content, right? You're not here to convince everyone. You're here to resonate deeply with the right people. That's why you can make so much money with a small following of the right people, because then you have a following full of buyers rather than a following full of people there for entertainment, okay? And that's kind of our whole goal. So part 9 is the actual irritation and optimization, right? So your first offer won't be perfect, and that's completely normal. The coaches who win, they actually track the objections they get, study the sales calls, use the data they collect over time, and iterate quickly. So they change everything quickly on the fly, step by step. Every time you get a piece of data, modify off of it, okay, until you find the perfect side. So every DM that you send out is data. Every sales call is feedback. Every client result is a signal on what works and what doesn't work. Detach your ego from your business. Okay. The biggest thing is Steph Curry is super good at basketball because when he hits a really good shot, he doesn't say that's me. He just says it went in. He doesn't say I made that shot. He says it went in. So that when he misses a shot, it's not I missed a shot. It's that one didn't go in. When you detach your ego from success, you also detach your ego from failure, which allows you to learn. Okay? So detach your ego from your business and just listen to the market. That's the biggest thing, is so many people take their credit for what happens instead of just understanding the market and using that to improve. So, and improve relentlessly. That's the biggest thing, is continuously improving with your business. If you're not doing that, you're going to get stuck. So detach yourself from the business, because if you win, it's not you. If you lose, it's not you. It's the market, and you just have to study and detach your ego and improve relentlessly. So here's the big takeaway. Your irresistible offer isn't clever, it's clear. You're not recreating the wheel. You're making and offering a really good wheel, right? So it's not clever, it's clear. It's clear for who it helps, what problem it solves. It's clear on why it's different from other offers, and it's clear you're the one to deliver it properly at the highest level for their results, right? If you build your offer in this way, The sales feel natural, pricing feels justified, clients stay for longer, and results compound, which means when you get testimonials, more people come because of those testimonials, right? And your business finally works the way it should be. If you find that you're stuck, you're not releasing yourself from the business. You're sticking to the same thing over and over again and not changing. If you're headbutting a wall for so long, the right offer could be down the wall and there could be a door. But you're just headbutting, hoping something works. And if something's not working, understand that you need to study the market and study your data. Okay? So if you found any of this helpful, feel free to subscribe for more actual coaching content. And, if you want deeper breakdowns on sales, messaging, and building a real online coaching business, comment below because we have plenty more, and I can message you directly on Instagram, or you can click the link in the description, or you can just book a call with me and ask questions on exactly how you can build your business directly. Okay? When the offer is right, I want you to remember this. When the offer is right, selling becomes easy. Okay? My name was Andrew Wilkes. I love you. God loves you. Peace.